And now I say, righto, pretty interested in Tiger Woods.
Yeah, I'll bring Tiger direct.
This is where you got to live, Tommy.
And I look up, and there's Craig Hutchison up on the stage holding the Vince Lombardi. Here's the power of the suit. Everyone else is in there. You know,
See, I'll be stuffed in my thongs is what you're telling me.
I'm in my suit.
I can't get in.
Right? And suddenly I'm pulling out. I've got wristbands and everything that's
One
going.
of those real Grand Prix wankers with that many passes on.
I had everything going.
If it was tasked to you,
Yes.
I want you to tell me, without giving away state secrets, who you would go through to make these happen that you would potentially have in your phone. Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Have you met him?
Yes, I have.
Right.
I was actually.
This is what Tunner said. He said you'll mention him, and he'll say, "No, I've already met these blokes."
Well, I was in the room with him after the Super Bowl where he had his jumper stolen. And in fact, I sent the vision that we had to them to use as evidence to try and find the guy who stole his jumper.
What were you doing in the rooms after
I was doing interviews. I'll tell you, have you got time for a quick story?
Mate, if you
These are the
can
sorts
tell
of
me
things.
you can come back
This was
another time, then we've got as much time as you want.
This was an hilarious day, right?
Right.
So we're there for the Super Bowl, and the day before I'm interviewing Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
And I asked him a question. He comes back with sort of a half a snaky answer, and I had a witty riposte.
Oh, yes.
Which he laughed at,
Right.
which was a miracle.
Right.
So anyway, the next day...
Who are you working for?
I was there for Triple M and Nine and sort of everyone. But I was there with Jay Mueller, who was my Triple M producer.
He was downstairs. He was that excited you were coming in to come and do this.
So Big Jay, the American. So anyway, we've got passes to go into the rooms for the international media. And I had been to... as a guest of the Crafts a few times and had dinner with them.
Owners of the Patriots.
Owners of the Patriots as president of Collingwood.
So you've had dinner with Mr. Kraft.
With Bob and with Jonathan.
Sorry, Bob and Jono. Is Tommy to us?
Who actually...
Oh, crafty.
I took my boys back there and they put up on the screens at Foxborough to our two biggest international fans, Joe and Xander McGuire. And Joe and Xander were there. They go, Dad, there's somebody else called Joe and Xander McGuire. I said, no, it's you. And all these people turned around and go, I said, you? You know, and they gave us these great parts. Anyway, we were on the field for the game. I mean, it was unbelievable. So, you know, life, remember, I still think lying in that single bed in Broadmeadows, where has this taken me, this amazing life?
And this is what I've been trying to show people where you've got to from humble background.
It's just been one excitement, one stunt after another. Anyway,
so you're in the sheds.
So getting the sheds is an even better story. So we got the ticket to the sheds. I said to Jay, let's go down early because I don't know if there's going to be 10 or 1,000. We're going to make sure we're in the front, okay? So we go down. And as I'm walking down, you know, the corridors behind the stands, just like everywhere else in the world, all these people are starting to walk past. And I said to Jay, cover up your credentials. And Jay goes, what do you mean? I said, just cover it up. I said, just follow me. I said, hold the back of my belt and just follow me, okay? Because I've twigged it's the families of all the players, and they're going out onto the ground. So, well, we're here. Let's see what happens. So I straight away do the U-turn into the, right in behind them. Jay's sort of hanging on, and we walk out, and all the crowd realise it's the family, so we're waving to everybody. And I go out onto the ground, and I'm on the ground as they're presenting the Vince Lombardi trophy. Wow. I start interviewing Rob Gronkowski and various others.
So you've pulled the mic out on there.
Mic out, and I said to Joe, I won't push our luck too much here. Just hold it because we're going to get him inside anyway. But I wanted to get, and he's got a phone at this stage, and I look up. And there's Craig Hutchison up on the stage holding the Vince Lombardi.
That'd be Hutchie.
So Hutchie's up there and I'm laughing and I'm down here. And so anyway, so we go down. So I said to Jake, let's get off the ground because the players were still celebrating and the families and everything else. And I interviewed Mrs. Kraft, who had cancer at that stage and subsequently passed away. Anyway, so let's get off so we don't get thrown out and we'll be right. We'll get everyone inside. So as we're walking off, I look up. And 10 feet in front of me is Bill Belichick walking off in the same direction. And here's the power of the suit. Everyone else is in there.
See, I'll be stuffed in my thongs is what you're telling me.
I'm in my suit.
I can't get in.
Right? And suddenly I'm pulling out. I've got wristbands and everything that's going.
One of those real Grand Prix wankers with that many passes on.
I had everything going because I'd been invited to a lunch and I was doing something for the end of it. Had everything going. Right? And so the bloke looks at me and I just nod my head, I'm with this guy. And I said to Joe, I said, just let's see how far we go here. So we go all the way in, and you wouldn't believe it. We go into the room, we stand back, and Bill Belichick is by himself in the winner's room, having just won the Super Bowl. So we stayed back, not hiding, but just out of the way a bit, and I just watched him. And he went over to a sink, and he put his hand up against the wall, and it was the moment. Lee Matthews talks about it, and also Kevin Sheedy and Mick Malthouse have said the same thing, that it's the relief of winning. So he's there, and you can just see the energy drain out of his body. He's kept it together all the way through, and he throws cold water up on his face, pats himself down, and he turns around, he walks over, and he goes, "Oh, can I help? Who are you guys?" So he said, "I said, oh, I'm here from Australia." He said, "Oh, yeah, I met you yesterday." He said, "You're supposed to be here?" I said, "Yeah, well, I've got the tickets."
Look at all the credentials, mate.
And the guy who's the security guy comes and goes, "Oh, you're not supposed to be here at this stage, Oh, you come in when the players come." "Oh, sorry about that, Well, so we've done everything. We walk out, and of course there is a queue a mile long, of which we go straight to the front of the queue. And some bloke arced up and said, "Mate, shut up, will you?" Jay, talk to him. Gee, the American. No, man, we're supposed to be here. So we get in, and you've basically got unfettered access to all the players. So Gronkowski comes out of the shower, the big joker that he is, and he's butt naked with his towel over his shoulder. And, and I start interviewing him and start joking. So
well, he's got no kit on.
He's got no kit, and he's a big man.
Right.
He's an impressive man.
Right, good luck to him.
So we're laughing and all that. Go over to everyone, we want to get Brady's in the shower. He comes out, and they have the open lockers. You know how they have and he's got the photo of Giselle, and he's got his wallet in there, and I'm sort of looking, geez. And he got he did the interview, got his jumper knocked off. We interviewed everybody, Edelman, all these guys. It was unbelievable. And then when it all happened, we sent the vision over, which they used. I don't know if it found anything, but I said, "Look, I've got all this vision in the room." So that was great. And, and a couple of years later, I did the same thing with Peyton Manning, where they were red hot saying he's not talking anywhere. And he walked towards me. And again, I'm kitted up and Jay's with me. And I said, "Peyton, young boy, Australia, became a quadriplegic yesterday, and he'd had a neck injury, and his name's, bang." And he just went bang, straight down the camera, gave me 15 seconds, 20 seconds of gold, walked straight through. Just fantastic.
Class.
Just class.
So, back to the original question.
Anyway,
I got through there.
So Brady, I'd ring Jonathan Kraft.
Okay, Jonathan Kraft.
Yeah.
Right, so we're not messing around here. See, Tommy might be trying to get hold of some media manager. You're just ringing Jonathan Kraft, so the owner of the Patriots is what we're doing.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Righto, so that's the first one. Tunner said you'd impress me here. So we've got Brady on. Podcast episode went wonderfully well. Thank you for that, Ed.
No problem.
And now I say, righto, pretty interested in Tiger Woods.
Yeah, I'll ring Tiger direct.
So this is where you got to live, Tommy. So you've obviously spent time with Tiger somewhere along the way?
I did the last ever interview with Tiger before he went upstairs to meet the cocktail waitress.
Of course, because he was out here for the Masters.
Yeah, which I was hosting.
Right.
And we did it in the round at Crown. And I actually said, going back in time to 1988, I interviewed Jack Nicklaus, who got off his private plane at Essendon Airport for the Bicentennial Golf Classic. And I remember Jack was unbelievable. I had been diverted to interview a New South Wales cricketer for our Sydney newsroom, who was making his debut for New South Wales. The old days, they hit the balls at you in the heat, and then at the end walked off and wouldn't do the interview. And I said, "Well, I'm going anyway. I've got Jack Nicklaus." Go out there. Jack does the interview, all in for everybody, then says, "Anyone want an individual?" Of course we do. Sits me down. I'm a young bloke. He says, I'm 22, 23. He says, "What's your name, son?" I said, "Eddie McGuire." I said, "Jack, I'll be actually doing the interviews on the 18th. Good on you, son. No worries at all." Every answer he put in there. Royal Melbourne is my favourite course, Eddie. By the end of it, it sounded like we were best friends. The next day we go
It's a small thing as someone you're interviewing. If they use your name, I say to any athlete, use the person's name and they will look after you forever.
We go down. He does the Pro-Am. He was late to get down there through the crowds and everything. And the three blokes are half shot. They've been having a few heart starters. And he carries them around. We get to the end of it, does another interview. Next day he goes to the banquet, and he gets up at the banquet and he says, "Thank you, ladies and gentlemen." Does a great speech. "I'm leaving now because while I might be getting old, I'm here to win. So I'm going to go and get some sleep." And we had a lot of good time. And I thought that really resonated with me.
So you told this to Tiger?
So I used it with Tiger. I said, because he wanted to go. I thought he wanted to go upstairs and sleep.
Right. He had other things on his mind.
He went to bed, at least, Anyway, so Mum's there, and I say, "Guys, everybody, Tiger's here to win. give him a round of applause. And he was magnanimous, and he was funny, and he was great. Goes upstairs. Little do we know that that the world blows up on him the next couple of days. He wins the Masters. Was great. A bit later on down the track, he came out to do an exhibition at Crown in Perth, and James Packer had asked me to come over and interview him, and we got on really well and did things. He actually asked me to be his media manager, and travel around. And Tiger did, to come with him, and we started having a discussion. And we came back to Melbourne. I said, no, it's not my sort of doing my own thing. And
she would have been an interesting gig.
Moving
forward.
At that stage, and I'm not sure if it would have got past the chairman of the commission at home. So Tiger through, probably through there or through the golf.
But you just ring him direct, you think? Is he picking up?
Well, he has in the past.
Okay,
yes.
righto. So that's Tiger. Yep. We're going pretty well here, Tommy.
Okay.
So now we got Tiger. We're all
this
good.
This is the greatest wanking name dropping session of all time.
I get accused.
I'm going to get embarrassed at some stage.
I get accused.
I haven't been embarrassed for 48 years, by the way.
I get accused of name dropping. You are taking it to a whole nother level. Okay. But I'm putting you in that position.
Okay.
Now the third of the Holy Trinity on this podcast is David Beckham.
Yeah.
Any way we're going to get to Becks?
He's a bit more removed.
Okay.
I'm trying to think who we'd go through. Jerry Halliwell, of course, sang on the grand final on the footy show in London, where she stood on my back wearing a Collingwood jumper as I did push-ups at the Theatre Royal.
Right. So Jerry might be a starting point.
Might go through there. No, I'll tell you where I'd go. I'd go through guys in America who we did some business with Sports Illustrated, who own David Beckham's images.
Okay.
And he works for them. So we actually were going to bring him out at one stage. They own the images of Greg Norman, Elvis, David Beckham, and that would be the way I'd go through.
Okay.
Yeah. So one removed to actually running.
As a consultant for the Howie Games,
yes.
What type of price per hour? Now, actually, I'm not going to put you on per hour. I'm going to put you on
success.
So, just give me a ballpark.
Oh no, I'd do it for free for you.
I assure you. Hey, so it's a good diversion. As I said, that I'm going to beg
money
you to come
doesn't
back.
buy happiness. You know that, don't you?
No, it doesn't.
But it does buy a big enough boat to pull right up alongside.
Correct.